Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Full Throttle Remastered. So we're in the third act. We've got some commentary to listen to in this tiny little room where you really don't do anything.
Do you remember going to Skywalker Ranch to record a video that was for marketing purposes, which was the GONE JACKALS playing? And I don't know what, this is for some B-roll that we recorded for marketing to use, but they also took a picture of the band and they made a leather jacket that said Full Throttle on it. And we filmed them playing in the same soundstage that the London Symphony Orchestra did Star Wars music on. And I just remember they came in and they wanted to pose with their bikes on the soundstage. So they rolled. There was like the night watchman who was like letting us into the building. We had permission to be in there, but he like saw the motorcycles getting wheeled in. He's like, "Are those okay to be indoors?" I'm like, "Yeah." And like he said, and he asked we had these actual biker guys who own the bikes wheel them in. And he's like, "Are they gonna leak on the woods, hardwood floor in here?" And the biker guy was just like, "She'll leave her mark."
Well, that's a good segue.
But it's no big deal.
Yeah, really nothing in this room scene at all. And the longest part about this game, as far as conversations, is this. Joystick. Need a battery.
It's out of juice.
Maybe you just grab the bunny. So we've got to talk to this guy. And he stands here when you talk to him.
Why are all the lights down here?
I guess you have to talk to him.
Seen any vultures around here?
Nah, we don't have much of a vulture problem here, even though the hideout is right up the road. They stay pretty much locked
He's
up.
telling you directly everything you need to do, because clearly there should have been more people to interact with, more story, more reasons, and more realistic reasons that you would find out where the vulture hideout is.
What's this big arena doing way out here?
Corley built the Smashatorium so his employees could have some wholesome...
Honestly, I would have preferred just walking and wandering around to find the vulture hideout instead of somebody telling me where it was.
What's in the hat?
I don't know. Came filled with it. Probably some sort of packing material. Packs a punch, I'll tell you that much. Looky here. Nothing personal, but why don't you mosey along and stop scaring away all the other customers, all right?
Just clearing my throat.
So,
That's right. Official Corley Motors Smashatorium souvenirs. Don't go away.
grab the souvenir.
Come on, give me a break.
No mementos. I'll have scars enough to remind me of this trip.
I'm practically giving this loot away.
Grab the RC car.
There's enough for everyone.
It's out of juice.
Don't crowd everybody. There's enough for everyone.
And I talked to him, and I'm pretty sure that's all I needed to do, but
Yeah, you remember how we got the rock and
we've already listened to this. Maybe there's something about going to the front door that triggers something. We have the old gameplay, not the remastered gameplay, enabled, so I can imagine that there's something I'm supposed to do that you don't have to do in the remastered gameplay.
I want to talk about Roy Conrad because we listened to a lot of audition tapes for this game, and everyone you tell them they're going to be a biker does this really, like tough. That was my tough guy voice. Like trying to be super tough, and it always came through as trying to be tough, and I didn't like any of them. And then we heard Roy's voice, and it is really deep and tough sounding, but he's kind of gentle about it, and there's something about the fact that he's not trying to sound tough that just made us love it all right away. The second he started talking, we were like, yeah, man.
such a great voice.
And he looked nothing like the character.
No, he looked like a dad, like a gentle,
kindly old
dad.
fatherly.
Jerk. Hey, open up. Let me in. Beat it. Jerk.
So, one of the major problems with this scene, despite like interesting Medusa heads that don't really play any role, it's too interesting of something for the game. You start the game kicking a door, and kicking the door does get this guy to tell you to go away,
Let me in.
but it doesn't really solve or even move the story forward at all. Theoretically, I suppose if I knew the code, which maybe I still have it written down from the last time I played the game. Let me check and see if I actually do. Like, theoretically, without even solving the game and playing, no, I don't have it written down. You could try to find a pixel and kick the right stone. I think it was right about here. Maybe not. And how close you actually have to be is kind of insane. So yeah, just you could go here, you could type in the code because I don't believe the code changes. But there's definitely some problems with that idea.
Yeah, you remember.
We've already heard that commentary.
I don't walk.
We don't walk. And you gotta use the bike. And we'll check out this area. Not really certain what I'm doing wrong to not get the bunny and the batteries, which is going to be a major factor.
There's the vultures' hideout on the other side of this field. I've heard a lot about the vultures. And I guess it's all true.
So yeah, you could have just wandered here, seen like seen a sign that said vultures, and that would have been it.
I remember going into Tim's office at one point as the deadline was looming, saying, "Tim, you gotta cut the mine road or the bunnies."
I
He's
remember
like, "I'm not cutting either one."
Mine Road or the bunnies?
Yeah, I'm like, "You
Really,
gotta
there
cut
was-
one, Tim. Something's gotta go."
We had
Oh,
already
it's a
cut
bummer.
so much on the game, I was like, we can't cut anymore. And the bunnies are crucial to the narrative.
Like, you just can't walk here, can you?
Don't think so.
Yeah, he's not gonna go any further.
No. I don't want to set off any of these boys.
And see, if Tim was a more realistic, reasonable, I would argue good producer of games, instead of being slightly childish, which also helps him make his games and the story, but also has some downsides. You could have easily cut the bunnies. It's a joke. You could have taken all the jokes out of this game if it really was too long for the date. And if it really was adding a lot of money just to hire somebody to animate and program bunnies, that could have been left out. I wouldn't get rid of the bunnies first. I would have gotten rid of the Demolition Derby first. I would have gotten rid of the hand stabbing minigame, which isn't even part of the elements of the game. Like there's an Easter egg in this game you don't even need.
I'm saving that chain for my friends on the old mine road.
Let's see.
It's meant for nuts.
Drive your own derby car by remote control.
That wouldn't help.
I got a button under my toe that's wired directly into Corley Security's alarm system. Of course, I could be lying, but the question is, do you
So
Looky here, nothing personal, but why don't you mosey along and stop scaring away all the other customers, all right?
Just clearing my throat.
Official Corley
let's
Motors
see.
merchandise.
Horse,
Souvenirs.
souvenir.
No mementos. I'll have scars enough to remind me of this trip.
All sizes and
Souvenirs.
colors. What's a couple of bucks in exchange for a timeless memento? We got your pennants. Our bunnies come
So what am I forgetting right now?
It's the exit. It only spins one way, and it's the wrong way.
What am I forgetting?
That's the old hardtail Mo restored with Malcolm. No. No.
And there's like nothing else in this area. There's nothing else in any other part.
What's a couple of bucks in exchange for a timeless memento? Drive your own derby car by remote control. We got your pennants. We got it all right here. You big fella, come give our derby car a spin. Souvenirs here. Come on, give me a break.
No.
If we don't got it, then it stinks. Come on, give me a break.
I'm not putting my lips on that.
We got all right. Let's see the cash, amigo.
I'll owe ya.
No bucks, no yucks, compadre. Drive your own derby car by remote control.
It's out of juice.
Buy your kids a bunny so they'll shut up on the long drive home.
And he's got like nothing.
Looky here, nothing personal,
It's
but why don't you mosey along and stop scaring away all the other
he's
customers,
drinking.
Just clearing my throat.
So am I supposed to talk to him when he starts drinking?
all sizes
And maybe that gets him choked up?
I'm practically giving this loot away.
Is that the
Give
idea?
our derby car a spin.
Talk to him when he's
We got your hats. These souvenirs all have an expected appreciation rate of 300% per year. I'm practically giving this loot away. Pat the bunny. You know you want to. I'm practically giving this loot away. Souvenirs here.
See, you'd think what he's repeating would make
These souvenirs all have an expected
Makes
appreciation rate of
sense.
300% per year. What's a couple of bucks in exchange?
No.
Don't be a cheap jerk. Buy something.
I'm not putting my lips on that.
right now.
Kinda cute.
He's drinking.
That is.
Looky here. Nothing personal, but why don't you mosey along and stop scaring away all the other customers, all right?
Just clearing my throat.
You big fella, come give our derby car a spin. We got it all right here. Don't go away empty-handed. We got it all right here.
See, he's going through this whole loop.
Shut up on the long drive home.
There you go. Talk to
That's
horse.
what having a regular job will do to you.
What's a couple of bucks in exchange for a... Looky here. Nothing personal, but why don't you mosey along and stop scaring away all the other customers, all right?
Just clearing my throat.
We got your t-shirts here. Our bunnies come with batteries included. All sizes and colors. We got it all right here. Buy your kids a bunny so they'll shut up on the long drive home.
He's drinking now.
Looky here. Nothing
That
personal,
like
but
that
why don't
doesn't
you
do
mosey along and
anything.
Stop scaring away all the other customers, all right?
Just clearing my throat.
And all we got
Our
is
handy
this
beverage hats with your drink of choice.
It's meant for nuts.
and this and
You'll be
this
keeping cold and looking bold.
It's meant for nuts.
All sizes and
and
colors.
this.
Don't crowd everybody.
I'm saving that chain for my...
That's right. Official Corley Motors Smashatorium souvenirs.
I'm saving that chain for my friends on the old mine road.
Is there something I'm just missing? It's pretty pathetic, really. Rather pathetic that I just am not seeing the thing that was here. We already did the commentary in here, right?
Okay, I have to talk about this puzzle because
I guess we didn't.
it causes me a lot of grief. This is the second puzzle everyone gets stuck on, and they hate
Oh,
and
yeah,
they get
it's a
really
tough
angry.
one.
So the puzzle is supposed to be that you have to line up your knees, your eyes with a crack on the wall, and the puzzle is supposed to be that you. Oh, Maureen wasn't a grown-up woman at that time; she was only a 4-year-old girl. So the crack should be much lower, and if you go there and kick it, it works. But we're worried people would just brute force it and kick everything, so we made it so you couldn't kick it unless all these gauges were all lined up, which is a little contrived. And so, but that's where I learned the rule of adventure games. If it's possible at all to brute force something, they will do it. They'll be like, well, I guess I just gotta kick every pixel on this wall. And so people would kick every pixel and be like, why did you make that stupid puzzle where you have to kick every pixel? And I'm like, it was supposed to be this other thing.
Supposed to figure it out.
You're supposed to think the way I thought about it. And so that was a big learning experience for me.
It is a pretty awful puzzle. But there's nothing here you do with the hatch. And the door's open just because I did it, but I'm not supposed to have done it yet. And, like, I'm not supposed to use this on the bike.
It's meant for nuts.
And double clicking here.
I want to talk about Roy Conrad because we listened to a lot.
It's like there's nothing in this.
Poorly Motors. I've been meaning to come here for years. This is really a religious pilgrimage for me. A religious pilgrimage with a lot of butt kicking.
And there's no speaker or anything like that. There's no single pixel.
Hey, open up. Let me in. Beat it. Jerk.
This guy doesn't do anything. So I think we have to switch back to the remastered gameplay. Whatever element is missing is... Oh, he turned around. Why was he not doing that? Wait a minute. Why did he turn around? So it is just a randomization factor of very, very rarely he will turn around and that's when you're supposed to grab it. But it's so rare that I hadn't even seen it. Let's see if I'm hiding over here, or maybe I'm supposed to be hiding back behind this direction. Well, back to settings. I would heavily recommend people play with remastered gameplay. Even, let's see, where are we? We're at 54% before. We're at 55% now. And I'm just gonna go and try and grab the bunny and see if it just works. Yeah, very first time I grabbed the bunny, it works. With the remastered gameplay. That's ridiculous. It's a little odd to play a game that effectively is broken in its original form. I mean, you really can't say anything more about it than that. The randomization in these elements makes it impossible to play a game. It's similar to if you were going to play one of the old arcade games or NES games where you literally could not succeed at all.
I remember going into Tim's office at one point as the deadline was looming, saying, "Tim, you gotta cut."
So, here we use the bunny on the minefield, get the batteries. Then we use the batteries to get a box of bunnies. I think I'd like to turn off the remastered gameplay. I probably should turn it off right now, but we'll wait. Just to see what other frustrations might await me. So, but yeah, game should not have even shipped with some of these randomized events. Like, it just does not work in point and click adventure games. Alright, now take the battery, go here. And we're pretty close to the end of the game. I mean, but there's still a significant amount of stuff to do. Double click in here. We now have the battery that we can use on the remote, or the battery we can use on the RC control car. Now we have it drive this way. And then we're in audio commentary. We had already done that one, so I'm just going to click here.
Now look what you did. The entrance is all the way through the factory. Hang on, little buddy. Daddy's coming.
Now it's just me and the bunnies.
There was a local radio.
We have already heard to this one. So now we just take the box of bunnies. And now we use the bike, which is this unnecessary middle step. And now we go to the vultures. Nope. Nope. Use the bike.
I don't walk.
The system is not 100% intuitive. There's a lot of opportunities for misclicks, particularly since the exit to get to the vultures is right on the edge of the screen. Why not move it closer inward? Yeah, there's a lack of expertise, which is kind of weird considering this is far from the first point-and-click adventure game that people working on this should have done. Alright. So, box.
It's a whole box of those furry things.
Box of bunnies with the minefield. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Now, in the main game, Remastered, you had to pick them all up. So you didn't want too many going at the same time because they just all cluster together. And that's not what you wanted. You wanted instead just one. Alright. Now you take a bunny and you minefield it. Actually, I probably didn't do that right. I needed to walk over to this point, then do the bunny. And you can see with the old graphics that there's a full grid here that makes sense. And this feels like a lot more of a game than what this was, where this felt a little more random. Also, apparently I can hit backspace to cancel with some button prompts. There's some new technology not in the original game. So you try to go as far as you can. And it feels like at this point I would have, with the remastered gameplay, been done. Are we gonna get any audio commentary here?
You sure?
Hmm.
That's the guy who killed my father. All right, vultures.
Kind of forgotten about that whole issue.
Listen, Mo, you're making a big mistake.
Now, if there's gonna be any audio commentary here,
We should draw this out, don't you think, Susie?
I got all night. You heard her, kid.
this is a good scene, I think, for this type of game. And there's like, we'll hit A just to see if there's any commentary. Apparently not. Let's see.
Your father.
Don't you dare talk about my father, you heartless bastard.
So we've got to call her the nickname, but to do that, we have to remember what name it was. So we could go through all of these, but I don't think you actually lose
I said shut
if
up
you
about my dad.
if you actually do them all.
Malcolm once.
I said shut up about my dad.
I'm losing my temper, Marine.
And you're about to lose much more.
I wonder if you can actually lose. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough.
Not quite.
I'm innocent.
You're in something, all right.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is a loose scenario, and I wouldn't want it to be.
Or else what?
We'll just try every wrong thing.
I'll stick the Polecats on you.
The Polecats are in jail, Ben. You put them there, remember?
And this is the only line of dialogue that even takes you to a second choice.
I'll tear this place apart.
So obviously it's the right one.
Words,
Let me go, or else
And the music changes, telling you that you're going in the right way.
I'll get blood all over your driveway.
Ben. That's good for the landscaping, actually.
Let me go, or else
Or else what?
They didn't pull me.
I'll call you names.
Like what?
And let's see. Diaper Dynamo, I believe, is the right one.
Rat bike riding rubber-covered vultures.
And there's like 3 pulls. So it seems like we are getting to the point where we could actually lose, and I'm not sure I really want to lose, but I would also like to see if there is this like hidden death sequence that most people wouldn't see that's pretty bloody.
Let me go, or else
Or else what?
I'll call you names.
And see this, they were talking about brute forcing a solution, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Meat farmer. Let me go.
Seems like you can just brute force it, so if there is a way to
I'll call you
lose, it would,
What?
it's like you would have to do something twice. And this would be the point where you would have put a death sequence if there was going to be one. Even if you were being extremely generous and letting people brute force it. Or you would have put it a lot earlier after like your third or fourth try.
Like what?
Nightbreak Dynamo.
Where'd you hear that name?
Your father. He told me just before he died.
You bludgeoned my father and then talked about old times?
I didn't kill him. Ripburger did. A photographer took pictures, but her camera was stolen by the same thug that came after you.
I still have that roll.
Well, develop it, would you? While I still fit in my clothes?
Okay, you stay here.
Hey.
And we're back to the MTV cutscene animations.
Yeah.
Or what would have been MTV cutscene animations.
No, we have to expose Ripburger at the shareholders meeting. That way,
They kind of ruin Maureen at the end of this game. Unless you set a sequel like a certain number of years after she's either run the company to the ground or sold it to somebody else or somebody's stolen it from her. I mean, you could easily make a sequel where somebody stole the company from her and she's back in the leather and biking.
Scene 1. Adrian Ripburger, in a desperate attempt to lure our Maureen out of hiding.
And you don't even get to really see these other two people. It kind of seems like that's a guy in front of Ben Throttle. With the muscly arms, I would assume. And then it seems likely it's a girl to the right of Maureen. But we don't even see it. And Susie is clearly a woman. There's also maybe an implication that Susie, like, not kidnaps, but takes in young people and makes them vultures. So she's, so there's kind of like this generational type thing.
No, they'll all be watching you running around on fire.
Yeah, that's another question I have.
When your car explodes, you climb from it in flames.
This whole cutscene could have been cut. The whole Demolition Derby mini game could have been cut. The cutscene after this cutscene could have been cut. Clearly, the game was not developed in the right way, because you would have made the most important scenes at the beginning in the first 2 or 3 months, and not and been able to cut more content.
No, that's not George. It's
So the guy on the left,
I love the hair.
See, they're all in disguise. Marine's got a wig on.
it's kind of weird they jump in just to say his second of dialogue. Like, you could have cut this cutscene and all this voice dialogue. You could have cut so much at the end here. And that's why I think the game would have been better to just do a short cutscene after you jumped the gorge, and that would have been it. You didn't really need any of the gameplay that happens here, and you could have taken the puzzles and ideas and put them earlier. And we're still in cutscene.
Hang on, Mo. Here I come.
Here we are. And there's no commentary here. Oddly, you can save in the middle of the Demolition Derby, so let's do that. Like, it took about 30 minutes to go 1% last time, and now we've gone 13% in the next 30 minutes. Hitting about 70% of the game. which honestly I don't think that that's even that accurate. We went a little long this recording. That's it for it. However, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. If you want to support me, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have